Yeah. Kudus, Rusikesh, and Subhamalam, are you back? Please check with those who haven't raised a hand.
Yes, we'll do that.
So requesting all of you to pay attention. No new topic, continuation of previous topic, but with. Okay, listen. So from yesterday, we are dealing with collection framework. And till today morning, we were dealing with primitive types, that is one single value, single type. So in order to have a proper data type safety code, we have used generics. So I'm creating an array list of string type, and my object is my list one, and it is collecting 3 objects. One object is going to collect 3 objects. So likewise, let me create my list 2, and I'm changing this as integer. We have added an object of any of the wrapper class of type which I have made at the time of initialization, and we have removed the item, and we traversed all the items in the collection. Is that okay with the example which I have written on this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's assume. So if I want to use collection framework for many records of different type. As we all know, I go with the type name homogeneous collection, and if I want to go for heterogeneous collection. So in order to have a collection with mixed or many data, many different record, if I want to store, it is possible with the help of user-defined class. So like array list, let me create list 3. Earlier, list 1 belongs to string type, list 2 belongs to integer type. Let me create list 3 for employee type. And what is employee? Employee is a user-defined class. Can I apply user-defined class? Of course. Always my collection will take a class, a wrapper class of primitive type or user-defined class. So I can have employee ID, employee salary, employee name, and employee address, which is possible. Take time, analyze my list 1, my list 2, and my list 3. My list is a type of employee type. And if I want to add in my list 1, I will be adding a direct string value. Here it is integer value. How to add in my list 3? How
We
to
need
add
to
employee?
pass the the class variable types parameters in the list while adding.
How? What to be used in order to refer a class? What's need to be used?
Object.
Object.
Class object.
So either you can create a separate object with object name, or you can simply go ahead with new keyword and you can pass all the values. Let's assume 2001. And the order of constructor. So, Abdul. So let's assume you have a constructor with the order employee ID, employee name, salary, employee address. The same order you will be passing the values to constructor. Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am.
So by the way, my list is not holding homogeneous type. It is holding heterogeneous type. I want all of you to thoroughly analyze my list 1, 2, 3. Yeah, someone asked.
In list 3, I have written my list 2 dotted.
Sorry, Pa, it should be 3.
3.
Thanks. So my list 1 and my list 2 of single record, whereas my list 3 is user defined class holding collection of records of mixed type based on the definition of my class. If you don't have private keyword, you can access directly, but it is always required to use private so that you have to get the data with the help of getter method. Don't forget don't miss any rule, basic rule of your class. Always it should be encapsulated.
Constructor will be public, right?
Yeah, constructor and all the methods will be public. And don't forget to have get public getter methods. Only with the help of getter methods, we will access the data. I want all of you to analyze my list 1, my list 2, and my list 3. What is the difference? This line is very, very important.
In my list only add string value. In
My list?
My list 2 it gives the integer, add the integer.
Only
integer
one
value.
integer value. Whereas here I'm adding employee class value with the help of object. This is an object. New class name of is an object and value passing is for parameterized constructor. And these values.
Ma'am,
tell
when
me.
we are passing the second value, and we are passing in with the same object, ma'am. When the values when we'll try to get the values or will pass the whole iterate through the array, this array list, how will access that particular object? Like in first time we have passed the 2001 and then next time it has been passed 2002. So in the constructor, first time it will initialize with the first values that has been passed. But second time, like generally what we do, we create the different object, then we pass the so both are the same object.
I noted your question. We'll see the solution shortly in a program. That's all. From this notepad, I'm switching to my tool. Shall I?
Yes,
Siddharth,
ma'am.
I got your question. Let's see how we are accessing.
Okay,
I would like to remind you that irrespective of a unique object or this object which does not having a name, same object also, even I can use same object and I can keep on adding. Don't forget we are adding in my list 3 collection. So my list 3 is holding all the records. By using my list 3, I can pull any records Since it is an array list, you can pull with the help of index.
Yes,
Even
ma'am.
though if it is not list also, you can traverse all the value one by one. How it is retrieving, we will discuss. Okay, so let me create list demo 1. Please pay attention. So nothing I'm gonna to do copy paste, everything I'm gonna to type in front of you. Even if you want to modify anything, I'm ready to do that. So that should be the class. Guys, listen carefully. That we are gonna to create a collection for a class. So create a class. Can I go for employee class or can I go for different class?
No, ma'am, employee is fine.
Employee is fine, okay. So let me create a class name as employee. And don't forget the basic rule of your model class. So private int employee ID, private string employee name. I'm using lower camel case format. Private string employee address. Here address is not address type, separate class. I'm making a string type. Private int salary. All the variable needs to be private all the time. Basic rule of encapsulation. Generate constructor, parameterized constructor, and generate your getter is enough when we are going for constructor. If you don't have constructor, go for get setter also. Why I need getter? Because my variables are private. In order to access, I should use public getter method. For all the 4 variable, I am using 4 getter method. Don't declare any variable with capitalized word. It's incorrect. Your machine will not generate properly. So go for small letter word. Okay. Is that okay with employee?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Just to collate the record, in order to show all the record in specific format, I am going for toString method. So toString, whenever I'm calling a respective object, just to collate all the data in a customized format, I will get. By default, there is a customized format in toString. You can generate it. I want employee. Let's say I want something like employee details, colon. It is also possible. So yeah, variables, private variable, public parameterized constructor, public getter method, and public toString. All the methods should be public. So let's get into program. Listen carefully. Array list. This time it is not integer, not string. This time I'm gonna to create as a type of employee class. I'm giving my name as list3. Let it be. Listen carefully. My list3 dot add. I'm showing you in different way. Employee object 1 is equal to new employee of. I'm passing the first employee. Let's say 5001. I should pass in the same order: employee ID, name, address, and salary. Let me give shuffled order. What is the difference between 9th line and 10th line?
Ma'am, we are passing the values priorly to the object and then we are passing that object to the list.
Both are same. Story over. Both are same according to me. All these 4 lines and this line is same. Only one minute difference is here we are giving a unique name. Here we are not giving, but everything is considered as an object.
Yes, that was my question, ma'am. That time what that was I was asking.
According to me, it's same. One minute difference is we don't give a unique name. So this time, instead of one single value, I am passing. Again, it's a collection. In this collection, I'm holding multiple records of employee type. What would be the output for size? Total number of records in my list 3 is
5, 4,
5.
5.
So total number of records in my list 3 is 5. And what is located in third index?
Dipesh.
Dipesh.
So 0, 1, Abdul 0th index, Adesh 1, Harsh 2, Deepesh is the third index. Third index record is, and this we are getting based on toString. Object is retrieved with the help of toString. Shall I traverse all the records in my employee, I'm sorry, my list 3? So I can retrieve based on index, or if I want to traverse all the records, I can traverse by using iterator, or I can traverse using for loop. And this time all belongs to employee type. I'm not sure. Let me complete it. Then not sure. My list 3. Yeah, it's working. So my list 3 is my collection. It belongs to the type object employee type. So every time the data, each and every record will be stored in X. Whenever I'm printing an object, it will retrieve based on toString. Instead of toString, if I want to fetch the record one by one based on my requirement, I can use. If I put X, it's an object. By the way, X is an object of the type employee. First time it will take the page record. Second time Abdul, and then Adesh, Harsh. Don't get confused here. I should add a line break just to differentiate. So if I want to retrieve only names, I can call getter method. So X is an object. So by using X, I'm calling name. When I execute, what would be the output? I'm getting only names of employee.
We can also pass the index value.
Yeah. That's what I'm about to say. If I want to get 4th person salary, is it possible? It is possible. 4th index is 5th person. So 61530 is the salary. Take time, analyze the code. One second. You can assume, so my list, it's a dynamically growable size. So you can have so if you create an array list, so array list, assume like this is my array list. My list 3. Guys, listen carefully. If you take my list, it's a dynamic memory. We have a vast memory. So wherever the memory is free, it will hold employee object. And each time when it is creating an employee object, each object will have a unique memory. So let's assume in this application, we have 5 memory. Each 5 will be of different memory address. So every time these object memory will be pointing out. So if you take my list 3 is holding 5 employee object. Whenever you are creating new employee of, one unique memory will be created. So this memory will be referencing to the value. So where I will be holding 5 different data. So here it holds, let's assume 5005, Abdul, Mumbai, and his salary 67000. This is my first object. So likewise, all the 5 objects will take its own memory where all the variables data will be stored uniquely. So by using my list 3, if you refer third object and if you try to refer name, you will get the appropriate name. Let me complete it. So let me call second employee holding 5003. Desh, Pune, 64530. 64530. Can you able to relate? This is how the data is getting stored. Likewise, if you take third object, so it will be holding all the 4 variables based on the name which you have declared. So it will take 5004 hash Indore. I need confirmation from you guys. So the idea behind is whenever, so my list 3 is holding 3 employee objects. So whenever if I am referring the first object, it is holding all the 3 objects. The first object will be positioning to here. And the second object is positioning to here. Can you relate? Likewise, each 5 object, and again, everything will be taken as employee ID, employee name, employee address, and it will take salary variable. This is how the data is getting stored. Can I able to retrieve this Pune record? It is possible. Can I able to record this 45,000 salary? It is possible by referencing this list 3. List 3 with respective to object followed with the variable name. Yeah, go ahead with your question.
Ma'am, so it is the feature of array listener that it is creating data like an object within itself. We are not forced to create every time what we were doing
No.
in earlier OOPS concept that we were
No,
creating
not
an
like that. Yeah. Inside my list 3, instead of that value, object is getting stored. Wait. Earlier, yesterday, when I have my list 1, I'm not holding object. Instead, so it is holding value 67, 87, or it's 104, 103, 101, 102, 105. You can store primitive type. I'm sorry, this direct single type, which is a wrapper class. By the way, I should not say primitive type. Or it can hold object. This we discussed till yesterday, and this is what we are discussing today. Yesterday and also some time back, I created my list 1 and my list 2. So it will be holding one single record.
Ma'am, my question was not this.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Ma'am,
What is your question?
my question was like just relate with the report card PC2. We were passing the values with a particular object in the with the particular student name in a object, and then we are passing that object to the array.
Hmm.
So so every time we were creating a different object name. So
Object
here-
name is not a big deal. Memory address of object is matters. So if you go for EMP OPJ1, or if you don't go for this line number 10, machine will reference only the address when you are creating with new keyword. This name is not at all a big deal. This name I'm using in my program.
Understood.
So every time when you are going for new keyword, new memory will be created, and that new memory is referenced under my list. And every time when you are referencing an object, the object is a class object. So where it will go? It will go to the class holding these 4 variables. This is not only for Siddharth, this is for everyone. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Listen carefully. I'm going to introduce one another difficult topic. Actually, it is simple. It seems like difficult, but it's a simple topic. So I have these records. I may have 5 records, or I may have 10 records, 20 records. Assume like in this program, I gave all the data directly. Instead of data directly, assume like the data is located in any files. Can I able to retrieve the data and I can store it in my list?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's assume
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
creating a tech. Very good. Possible. Very good. So I'm creating a file which is employee details.txt file. Shall I? Here I am holding some few records. Let's assume 7004 comma separated or space tab separated. Anything is fine. So we already came across on comma separator. Let's go for tab separator. 7004 space. Let me give Ramya tab. Chennai tab. 7005 tab. Vaishnavi tab. 7006 space. Is this okay? Let me save.
Yes.
So my records are available in file. You copy paste. I'm copy pasting and I'm changing. 702, 3,
Six
7,
has been
8. Aarti. So let's assume I have 8 records. All the 8 records are available in the file. Can I read the file and can I store the record in my list? Is it possible?
Yes,
yes, ma'am.
Possible.
Yes, ma'am.
So in order to read the data, we need to use
buffer reader.
very good. Very good. Listen, I am adding first 5 records as such, but the 6th record I want to read from the file. So its exception is mandatory. So buffered reader object name is equal to new buffered reader of new file reader of your file path. Always go for absolute path. Right click, copy path reference. You will find something called as absolute path. Just click and you paste it.
File reader object.
And semicolon makes, I think.
I think file reader also we cannot pass string. I can pass. Handle an exception. You can pass. Okay, let me maximize my screen. Try with resource, so I no need to have finally block. Automatically, object will be closed. Listen carefully. I don't have a header. I need to start reading from first line. Listen carefully. First 5 records I added directly, whereas the 6th record, all the remaining records I want to read from the file. Always when you are reading from using buffered reader, it will retrieve line by line and whatever the data you are reading, each and every line, it will return as string type. So all the data will be stored in the form of string. So now what I want to do, I want to add in my list as an employee type. Earlier, I passed 5003 Adesh Pune 64,530. Instead, now I want to
Split.
Yeah, splitting is missed. Thanks. Data 1 dot split. I want to split based on
Tab space.
tab space. Always when you are splitting, you will get the output in the form of array. Guys, listen carefully. I don't have a problem with employee name and employee address because both are string. But when you are storing employee ID and salary, you should convert into
Integer.
integer.
In-
These part are familiar to you. Int employee ID is equal to integer dot parseInt of, from my data 1, I want to take 0th index. 0th index is my employee ID. Where is my salary? So this is 0th index, 1,
Third
1,
index.
Third index.
Third index.
Third index.
So let me copy paste and I'm giving the variable as salary and it is third index. That's all. So now I want to pass employee ID, comma, those name and address I'm gonna to get directly from my data 1, where I have splitted and I have stored in an array. Anyone who were not familiar with this 16th line to 22nd line, please tell me. I'm assuming like 16, 17, 18, 19 are familiar. Only thing is 21st line is new for today. I'm reading first line. 7,004, Ramya, Chennai, 89,000 will be read. And when the loop executes, it starts reading from 7,004 and then second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. After reading one line, guys, listen. After reading one line, what I need to do, this line will be read and it will be stored as one single string. I want to
Ma'am.
split based on tab. Yeah, go ahead with your query.
Loop is also missed, ma'am.
While loop is,
Thanks.
ma'am, loop is also required.
Thanks. So I want to start reading from first line until it reaches to none.
None.
So let me complete it. So first time it will read first record. br.readLine. It will read the first line. What is the first line? 7,004 Ramya, Chennai and 89,000. That I'm storing it in data. I want to split the data based on tab. So this will be stored in a string array. So this is data 1 of 0. This is first index, second index and third index. I can put my first index and second index directly because it is a string type. Whereas employee ID and salary, it is stored in string. At the time of initialization, I initialized as integer. So I want to take care to convert this 7,004 and this salary to integer. That I'm doing in line number 22. So after retrieving the data and after doing a proper conversion, I am passing all the data as my employee object and I'm storing it in my list 3. This loop will be executed for 8 times. Why 8 times? Because I have 8 records. So 8 times readLine method will be executed. That's all. So if I want to read the data from the file, I need to use file reader and referencing to your buffered reader. Buffered reader will read line by line and it will store in string. According to the requirement, you need to split the record and you need to parse and you need to convert that as an object type and I'm storing in list 3. So now if I try to find the size of list 3, anywhere I missed a number format exception. What was that? In line number,
Catch.
Tab space, I think, ma'am.
In text file, ma'am, tab space.
one second. So in 7,004, Ramya, Chennai, where it is 65, somewhere the spacing is an issue.
Ma'am, 8,900.
Ma'am, after
89,000, ma'am.
No,
In
I
Ramya,
gave, yeah, I noticed this. See here, I am pressing tab space only here.
I'm in Jhansi, I think, after Chennai.
No. Every time I'm very much conscious on typing tag. Anyway, it is taking this small space, but it is a tab. Or let me give hyphen. That's just for my why the space is not working. See, when I copy paste in text document, can you find the same spacing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So because when when I entered the data, I made this every time press tab space. One second.
It's getting, Ramya.
Yeah, it's getting, yeah, I saw, but I want to get all other records. I think I need to type in text pad and I need to copy. 1 second.
Or should it be .tsv?
It should be in that format, no problem. It is reading the record. This TSV, CSV all comes under the child part of your text document only. See, the spacing is problem in that IntelliJ. Let me copy paste from my notepad. Second. I'll give a try. I just copy pasted with the
Both
proper.
names are same issue. 4th line. Chennai.
Yeah, ma'am. Jhansi, Chennai.
Yeah. Wait 1 second. But I pressed one tab space in my machine.
And in Mumbai.
Okay. Let's see if it is throwing an error in Chennai and this. Let's see. It is showing for Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi would be my first record.
Mumbai and Chennai both it's showing it.
No, it is showing for first record. That is it. Oh no, this time it's not hyphen, it is tab space. It is telling number format. Data 0 I am converting. Maybe.
We have to give only one tab space.
Yeah, I'll try that. It's not taking. I should give only escape sequence /t.
Sangeeta, after first row, can you give, if you give, because after 8,000, it is going to next line, no? So the tab is not being okay.
No. This is line by line only.
Line by line only, yeah.
I thought instead of comma, why can't we go for tab? It's everywhere. It's a tab space.
Go with comma now. I think check.
Comma or anything we can go, but why this is not working? I'll try for when I remove the records, it's working for hyphen.
I think there is a problem with parsing.
Ma'am, instead of throwing exception, just catch now.
No. Catch also will be resultant exception. Leave. Try catch and throw will do a same job. Don't think about it. We have a problem in reading. Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, in regex, do we need double backslash?
No, pa. It's an escape sequence, so it is one single /t.
I think there is a problem with parsing, ma'am.
Yeah. So time being, I am changing my it as double hyphen. I don't want to say. I'll do it separately. You can also give a try. Just I am differentiating one record with another record.
Can you please try from previous day's data?
Which record? What data?
CSV file.
I can do that.
Just try.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll change the format and I'll give a try. but I'll show you the output. You just analyze after some time. Quickly, I'll store it in CSV file and I'll copy paste the file and I'll give it a try. So I have 8 records in my file. Everything will be considered as a record in my file. Just I'm separating each data with double hyphen. Let's see. We'll read. So total number of records. The size of my list is 13. 5 plus 8. Totally 13 records. 5 I added as it is, and remaining 8 records I retrieved from file. Guys, are you making?
Yes, ma'am.
So by default, my list 3 is holding 13 records, 13 objects of employee. So now let's come to the question, sorting. Can I sort this? And I want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
display based on sorting order. When I
Yes,
want to do sorting, what are all the possibilities are there for sorting?
Basis on
Combine
employee
employee.
ID.
Employee ID and salary.
Very good. I can sort based on employee ID. I just wanted to list out all the 13 records based on ID or name or address or salary. Anyway, address will not give you a meaningful thing. Either ID, name, salary. We can do
Not
sorting.
even salary. Salary is also.
No. Salary is also possible because I want to view the records based on salary. Who is getting the maximum salary? Who is getting the lowest salary? Shall I continue? This is one part, handling the data in the form of object type. I will give a tab space, but I'll do it differently. I will have my file and I will save this as TSV file. Then I will embed this and I'll give a try. So I'll do that separately and I'll show you a demo. So before that, I just wanted to read the record from the file. I'm using this double hyphen as a separator. So now let us sort. Shall I continue with sorting the records?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
If it is
Yes,
one
ma'am.
single type, you can go for a collections.sort of collections class. But if it is an object type, we need to use 2 interface. So one is comparable interface, the other one is comparator. Listen, Java provides following interface to sort objects in a collection. Comparable and comparator interface. Comparable interface belongs to Lang package. Comparable interface. So it is having an abstract method called as compare2 method. So compare2 is already defined in Java, defined algorithm. So always this compare2 method will return negative, 0, positive. If negative means whatever the object I am comparing with the next object, which is having less value. 0 means both are same. Positive value means the object which I'm going to compare is greater than the second object. Just relate with bubble sort.
Yes, ma'am.
That's swapping. I have 5 values. I compare first value with second value. If the first value is greater than second value, my compare2 will return positive number. If both are equal, 0. If the first value is less than second value, it will return 0, a negative. So based on that, sorting will be done automatically. It's a predefined algorithm. And let me complete comparator also. So multiple sorting cannot be done with comparable. So in order to do multiple sorting, we will use comparator interface. And comparator interface is having compare method. And the method will also does the same. But I want to spend a lot of time in discussing the difference. I will do comparator. In your practice session, I want you to do comparable. Yeah. Just look into those highlighted points. If I use comparable, I can use only one sorting sequence. By using comparator, I can use multiple sorting. That means I have employee detail with 4 records. If I use comparable at a time, I can see only one sorting. Either I can do employee ID, or I can do name, or I can do salary. Only one is possible. Whereas if I use comparator, I can go for any type of sorting. Within the same program, I can see sorting based on ID, sorting based on name, sorting based on salary. This is the first difference. Second difference, if I use comparable, I will be using this interface in same class. Whereas if I use comparator, I will be creating new class. So it will not affect my original class. Both are interface. So I need to override compare to here compare method. So that's what I'm telling. I will try comparator for multiple sorting. I want you to try comparable, which will affect original class, and it is for single sorting. It is available in lang package. This is available in util package. This is only one way. So just call collections.sort of list is enough. But this is multiple sorting. I want to indicate what type of comparison I'm going to use. So I need to pass 2 parameters. The first parameter is list. Second parameter is what type of comparison I am making. It looks like very new to you all. But after doing 2-3 programs on today, you will be familiar with all the 5 points. Again, I'm repeating, I will do the right hand side. I want you all to do this left hand side. Not now, in your practice session. So listen. So step number 1, if you are using comparable, today when you are trying comparable, you have employee class. In this employee class itself, you will implement comparable. But if you take comparator, I cannot use it in same class. I want to create a separate class. Shall I create a separate class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm creating a class name as comp demo. I'm just giving a name as comp demo. So listen carefully. Step number 1, you should create a class and it should implement from comparator. And this comparator belongs to employee type. So it is available in util package. Step number 1. Why it is throwing red color error? So guys, why it is throwing red color error?
And we have to implement the method.
We need to override abstract method. And what is a method we have? We have a method compare. So let it be, I have first class as comp demo, and this I am using for employee. So this I am using for employee name. I'm having comp demo. Let's assume this is for employee ID. And this class, I just copy pasted the class and I renamed the class. And this comp demo is for employee name sorting. Or wait, I know this naming is confusion. So let me delete. I know this naming will be confusing. So let me delete and I'll create a new class. So I'm just giving as form employee ID sort. So assume like this class is reserved for ID sorting. And don't forget to override compare method. That's all. I'm creating one another class Assume like comp. This class is for, I'm using for name sorting. I'm using one more class, and this is for salary sorting. Will it be fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Not big coding and all. Everywhere you have same.
Ma'am, can we swap directly the objects?
What object?
Ma'am, why you are making all different classes? It can be done in only one class.
No, not possible. For comparator, yeah, you can do it in one file.
Yeah, that one file.
But we have this rule, no, one class should be public, and in that name only we want to store. It is possible. I can have all the three in one file without public. Examine IntelliJ, I don't feel confusion. We can have. So assume like this class is for ID sorting, this is for name sorting, and this is for salary sorting. So let me complete this, what is that? ID sorting. My God, why so many leaving the session and rejoining? Okay, listen, nothing new, all very simple code. So this is the syntax. I didn't do any code. I just override those compare method. This is the syntax of compare method. And compare will take the data in the form of object. So it's our duty to indicate what type of object we are using. Listen carefully. Oh, here it is employee. Employee. And first object is, I'm converting first object as employee object. I'm converting O2 first object as employee object, second object as employee object. By the way, I just casted my object as employee. So listen carefully. By using first object, I am getting employee ID. What I'm doing, I am comparing first employee ID with second employee ID. Just recollect bubble sort. If the first employee ID is greater than second employee ID, we need to return. Just think about this bubble sort and swapping. If it is greater than second employee, we need to return positive value. Both are equal 0. Both, if the first value is less than second value, negative. If the first value is greater than second value, return any positive number. That's all. Else if the first object is, it's a predefined algorithm, less than second, you need to return -1.
-1.
None of the case matches. If both are equal, we will return 0.
0.
That's all. Don't worry on the algorithm working. As I said, which is predefined. What is this? This comparable and comparator has been returned in such a way. Where is my sorting? It is in week 2.
Week.
Yeah, week 2. So what we are doing, every time we are comparing two values. So in order to do swapping, in order to not to do swapping, so we are following the return value in comparator. So this is a fixed algorithm. You know, you cannot change anything in this algorithm. Guys, for your information, I am copy pasting the same code in my salary. Same thing I want to do here, except employee ID. What I need to do?
Employee
I want to
salary.
call salary. That's all. Same coding. The algorithm is predefined. Based on that, swapping, ordering will happen. So if it is number, there can be possibility of equal 10, 20, 10 and 10 equal 10, 20, 10 may be less than 20, 20 may be greater than 10. So when I am doing a comparison between two employee ID, so 5005 and 5003 will be taken. If the first value is greater than second value, I need to do swapping. If it is equal or negative or less than, no need to swap. You continue with next two, and then 5004 and 1, 5001 and 2. It's a predefined algorithm. This is with respective to numbers. What will happen to my alphabet? How I can do the sorting between alphabets? Here we are checking greater than, less than. How can we do for names? I need answer from
Greater
you.
than 0.
Yeah. Compared to
ASCII values.
yes.
ASCII value. How you will do comparison of ASCII value? I received answer.
Greater than 0.
Greater than 0.
No. Yeah. Compare will return ASCII and greater than 0. Apart from that, how we will return ASCII value? What method is used in string?
Compare to.
Very good. So in string, we have a method called as compare to, which will compare one string and another string ASCII value. It returns 0, minus values or positive values. Just recollect. So for ID, same coding. I just replaced with getter. Salary also same, but there is a slight modification with name. Listen, here we will not return 3 values. Here we will return only 2. Okay. Same coding. Conversion is required. Guys, listen carefully. So I need to return. What I need to return is int comp value. Comparison value is equal to first object dot name has been compared to. Compare to is a method of string, which is comparing with second object name. So it will return ASCII value. It can return 0 plus positive value or negative value. You simply return that. That's all. Story over. We discussed the same in our session.
Ma'am, we do not require loop over here.
Why? Because my machine itself, I have a powerful compare to method. This will itself will compare and it will return positive, 0 or negative. Why I want to use if and if else if?
No, I was asking about loop.
That's what I'm
We
telling you.
have
This is
number
a
of data.
predefined algorithm. Yeah.
Okay. So it's designed
It
internally.
will be taken. Very good question. But if you have collection of value, automatically adjacent value will be taken and this algorithm will work. Assume like I have minimum 2 values, maximum any number of value. The algorithm has been designed, it will do automatically sorting. So that's all. My coding got over in all the 3 classes: ID class comparison, name comparison, and sort comparison. That's all. Let me display the output. So guys, this is an output without sorting. So it is taking 5003, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, all. So after last line, so in order to call collection, I will use collections dot sort of, what is that? My list 3. So tell me what comparison I want to do, what output I want to see first. ID, name or salary?
ID.
Name.
ID.
Okay. So name is available in comp new sort class. So call this class, that's all. Collections dot sort of, what is this? Your collection object name, comma, your class name. What is my class which is used for sorting the name, which is comp employee name sort. That's all. I'm just copy pasting this for loop. I'm changing this printable statement. This is my actual data. And this is my data based on name sort. Shall we view the output? I just copy pasted the code. Additionally, I called 35th line.
Ma'am, here you used IntelliJ used the new keyword. So
New is the way to call any class, object creation. It's a class, so I need to create object.
Okay.
Yeah, output is in front of you. Actual data and the data which is in sorted order of name. Listen, I'm copy pasting the code thrice. So initially, actual data for loop or name sort. So let me call what? Shall I go for salary
ID.
sort? Okay, ID sort. And the last one is salary sort call. So this is my actual data with 5,000 record and 7,000 record from file. And here it is name based from Adesh, Deepesh, Harsh to Vaishnavi. And what is this ID? Can you see? 5,001, 2, 3, 4, 5 from 7,001 to 7,008. I don't know, I made duplicate record. It's okay. And the last one is salary. Is it sorted? Yeah. 45, 45, 46, 61 till 89. Guys, let me ask you a question. Can I able to retrieve the details of employee belongs to Chennai?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Out of 13 record, can I get 3 record holder belongs to Chennai?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. We can use compare
Profit.
method by using
Yeah.
holding the value check.
Hold. So I will share the same program, everything, but I want you to give a try on getting employee details of Chennai location. Task 1. So task 2, can I get the details of employee having salary greater than 15,000? Task 3, I will share you the entire program, my main method, my class, my file, and all my comparison. Along with that, you need to add 2 functions. You need to go for function only. So I want you to try with functions. I should have first function. The function should return records of Chennai attendance. The second function should return employee details holding salary greater than 5,000. Task 3, I need to get employee records. Having name, second letter A. Whomsoever is having the second letter A in their name, I want to get that record. For example, Harsh, Ramya, Adesh, Aarti, Vaishnavi, and Jansi. Is it? But you want to do it with function, not in main method. Even a step ahead, you can get this Chennai or Mumbai or Pune from runtime scanner and pass it to function and retrieve the data. You need to create a temporary object and temporary list. No need to vary on memory location. You remember what is the demo? Some days back.
Yes, ma'am.
What was that demo? Route planner only, no? Every time when in array we took a additional step to find the size. If I want to create any temporary object, do I want to create a memory size?
No, ma'am.
No. So I will show you a demo. Like, where is my class close here? Guys, listen. So let me define a method. Public. I'm gonna to return array list of employee. This is my return type and my function name is, let it be function 1. And I am getting array list of the type employee of, let's say, OPG. So tell me any task. Okay, I wanted to retrieve whomsoever employee record. It is between 7,000. Okay, 7,001. I want to retrieve the record of employees. Employee ID is 7,001. So guys, listen carefully. I'm doing it in a function. So what I need to do? I need to call this function. From my main method, I am calling this function and the function name is function1. And what I am passing as a parameter, what I needs to pass?
List.
My list 3, which is holding all 13 records. That 13 record I am capturing in my OPG. And you create your own list, temporary list. So let's assume it is temp list. You don't need to vary on memory location because it is dynamic. So I am traversing all the record for, because all the time I need to traverse all 13 records. All 13 records I need to travel. I'm getting an input in the form of object. If this object is confusing, let me give it as my list 3 OPG. So every time I want to traverse all the record in my object. It's very important. You need to add a condition. If, listen carefully. If I'm taking the first record, I am getting, it's not object, it is employee. So I am getting the first record. So I'm just comparing if the first record employee ID is 7,001. If the condition gets matches, what I need to do?
Store it in temp list.
Store
Very
and
good.
return it.
Very good. Don't return it. I may have 2 record or 3 record. That is the reason I created temp list. All of you, please pay attention. This is my total list. I want all of you to listen from 54th line. So 54th line, I am calling this function by passing all 13 records. I am capturing all 13 records. I'm traversing all the 13 records. In this 13 record, I am starting from first record. X is holding the first record for the first time. I'm checking its employee ID is 7,001. If it is 7,001 alone, I want to add the respective object in my temp. That's all, story over. Where is my...
But return, we have to return this.
Yeah. So this loop will be executed for 13 times. But this data will be added only if the condition gets matched. Yes, yeah, I agree with you. For sure, I want to return this temp list. How to print this temp list? I want to capture this temp list in my function call.
again over there we have to create a temp list
Correct.
or
correct.
another
You
array
create any
list.
name. You again need to create an array list of the type employee. You give any name. Let's say temp1. So my temp1 is holding only the
temp list.
records of 7001. All of you agree? You
Yes,
print
ma'am.
it.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me copy paste the code. So after this, I'm printing data of 7001 employee ID. This time it is not my list 3. This time it is, what was that?
Temp1.
Temp1. Because my list 3 is having all 13 records. I don't know whether I have 2 records or 3 records with 7001. That I'm capturing in temp1. Any number of objects can be created, no worry on size. I'll show you. So the last output. So data of 7001 employee ID is, so I have 2 records holding the employee ID 7001. I tried this. I want you to try with 3 more tasks. All the 3 tasks I want you to do with function. Will you able to do?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I will share you all the code. You no need to start from scratch, by the way. So before starting the function, ensure that you are executing the program and you are getting the output till here. I have function 1. I want you to continue with function 2, function 3 and function 4. Function 2 should get Chennai location. Function 3 should get 50,000 salary, greater than salary. Whomsoever name is having second letter A should be returned from function 3. Try the same. Oh, it's only 12:40 in my clock. Okay, no problem. You have enough time. Do one by one. First of all, you try to get the output of this program. Anyone have not understood this? Explanation is required for the entire program. Please